All right, first reading. Arionella at Sea sections within the Oaql Seed. So, Arionella at Sea, section 4, the fruit of the tree. Over the hours of the day, as she drifted on the open ocean, Arionella experienced feelings of awe interspersed with moments of sheer panic. Around sunset, two significant things happened. Arionella had a particularly acute episode of fear, and she discovered the fruit of the tree. It began with a lightning storm so intense that though taking place far from the Treeboat, it could clearly be seen, heard, and felt for miles. The claps of thunder caught her unawares while she dozed under the tree. She was startled awake by a horrendous boom that shook the boat and made the tree leaves rustle. Still half asleep, Arionella pressed herself up against the tree instead of running into the cabin. The barrage of explosive sounds continued, and she held her hands over her ears, sinking into the moss. Dark clouds covered the sky, but even darker ones with bolts of lightning raining down upon the ocean filled the horizon. The Treeboat seemed to be treading water, not moving forward or away from the storm. Arionella's eyes were tightly shut when something bopped her on the head. With a scream, she opened her eyes and saw a large, roundish thing lying on the moss that had not been lying there before. She reached out for it, realizing it must be fruit from the tree. Its fragrance reminded her of honeysuckle. Its appearance was as simple as a regular coconut, though with a smooth, softer shell and a cool, moist quality to it. Just the smell of the fruit calmed her in the face of the approaching storm. This gave her the presence of mind to slowly stand and make her way over to the cabin on the other side of the tree. Inside the cabin, things were quieter. Muffled growls of thunder coming through the corky wood, though unsettling, were nothing like the ear-splitting crashes outside. Arionella sat on a little couch and sniffed at the fruit. The honeysuckle aroma invoked nostalgia for people and places she found she missed deeply. As tears welled up, she tried to distract herself by fiddling with the shell. She removed the thick stem and found that there was an opening. To her surprise, she was able to use the opening to pry the shell apart with ease. Liquid from inside the fruit spilled all over her. It was slightly viscous and sticky. She nibbled at the pink meat of the fruit curiously. The texture was reminiscent of the stringy flesh of figs. The taste was bitter and sweet at the same time, leaving her tongue tingling with a similar electricity to that she had felt when she had touched the tree for the first time. Soon she had eaten the whole thing and was left with only the stem and the husks of the two halves of the shell. There was no seed. Within moments, her chest swelled with energy and she forgot her worries. Her whole body pulsed with the strange electricity that she was now getting more familiar with. She got up, picked up the music-making device, and took it outside onto the deck. She fixed the black disc onto it, repositioned the needle, and turned up the volume to full blast, and began dancing to a cheery waltz in defiance of the storm. Every so often she would stop to look at the tree, whose bushy leaves danced and made a shh sound as the wind swept through them. Looking at how its branches grew outward before decisively growing in a skyward angle, as well as how its viney tassels hung down, flailing in the wind like charmed serpents. All this caused her stomach to churn with fascination coupled with unease. Finally, something she hadn't noticed before came into focus, appearing in irregular instants above the tree, or amongst its leaves, and at its roots, were the golden clouds of tiny particles she would often see in the forests around Lindum. Here too they appeared and disappeared like shimmering vapor blown out from an invisible mouth. For some reason, the sight of what she grew up calling sprites comforted her, and she turned back towards the dark sky, claps of thunder and zigzags of lightning that didn't bother her any longer. Somehow, she felt that she was a part of it all. One thing she didn't notice, however, was that it was only then that the Treeboat began moving away from the storm.